better call somebody!
You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE.
Give me a hell yeah!
Now, let's meet the host, Kyle Gagliardi,
The face that runs the place!
Jim Tucker,
It's a kid!
and Erica Marini.
I'm the boss. I'm the blueprint. I'm the standard.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi, and one of my co-hosts is my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on? We are not only joined by a regular guest, but a special regular guest who has inside intel from last night's AEW. She's got all the rumors, all the gossip. She was bumping elbows with all of the biggest names in all elite wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, at Erica_0328. Erica, how we doing?
I am good. I'm still riding high from last night, and I'm gonna try not to spoil anything for anyone. I have a list.
You are serving the role as the kid in class who's read ahead a little bit, and the chapters are blending together. And in order for you to participate, you gotta ride the line. It's gonna be a good time.
Literally was texted today. Hey, tonight you can't talk about this, or this. And I was like, I'm gonna try.
Got it. There we go.
We appreciate it because Rampage should be a good show. I'm excited for the card that they put together. Once again, Tuck, your student Josh chiming in the comment section early, trying to take away
In the building, Josh.
trying to take away the MVM from Ryan Vogus, who I feel like's been the MVM for 2 months now.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the Ryan Vogus Memorial RVM MVM.
Something like that. But Erica, you were at Dynamite, like Tuck alluded to. How the hell was it? I saw those seats. We shared it on social media. They look like a good spot.
They were a really good spot. And again, remember when I don't know what I could say.
Are you trying to not spoil things?
Did Mock show up on Dynamite?
Moxley did show up on Dynamite.
Okay, so where we were sitting was like right above the stairs.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So no, the crowd was not soft. That crowd was loud AF.
Rock hard.
It
Yeah.
didn't seem that loud. I mean, I wouldn't.
Oh, it was. Because I even like people today at work were like, "How was it?" And I was like, "The crowd was whatever." Anyway, so Mox came out right where we were, so it was awesome. Right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid show from top to bottom. But like we always say, it's always better when you're there in attendance. There's just nothing like it. And an AEW show specifically, at least most of the ones that I've gone to, I know the one that Tuck and I went to on a Black Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, was not the strongest AEW show ever.
Oh no, and that they had a tough stretch though. They ran Dynamite after Chicago was taken over by WWE for 4 straight days, Friday through Monday. So there was that. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I don't think there were a lot of wrestling dollars left in that town. They were squeezed in that 5-6 days.
I will say Tony Khan came out. I know he probably does this to everybody, but he did come out and he seemed like super appreciative of he's like, it's my first time in Connecticut in like a really long time. And he's like, you guys are great.
Was this their first show in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you've just been going to other shows around the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're kind of all around the New York area. That's not that far away from you to like go to New Jersey and stuff, right?
No. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. Well,
glad you enjoyed that, Erica. Let's go over the agenda of what we are doing today. Since we debuted that first episode of Sunday Shoot this past Sunday, we won't be talking about the Elimination Chamber. We won't be discussing SmackDown or Rampage from last week. But we are going to go through a little bit of everything that has happened this week, which would be Raw. Then we'll get to NXT, and we will finish off with the Dynamite that you were in attendance for. But let's start off with some news here that our MVM broke in the group chat. Cesaro has quietly exited WWE after failing to agree to a new deal, according to PWI Insider. Tuck, I knew something was coming. Erica's got the figure in hand. Obviously, this is an unfortunate situation. At least he wasn't fired, though, guys. He got to leave on his own terms.
True. I mean, there was something up with him not in the Rumble, which I guess Finn not being there, maybe that.
And then him not winning it 2 years ago, and I said he would too. It's like that's when it all started. It was like, what?
Yeah, and yeah. So, I mean, personally, I'm sure I could probably speak for everyone. I'm happy for him. I think there's a lot of good things from him on the horizon, and yeah, hopefully he gets what he deserves.
Will he be controlling his narrative?
I hope not.
Erica, very anti-control your narrative.
Hey, but every shirt you buy from EC3, he prints himself. People don't know. People don't talk about that enough. Yeah, which is kind of funny because he was on the Masked Man show, but not that show. Like,
oh, the one that I listened to.
Yeah, the other same guys, but I don't know. But he was talking about how, you know, how rich he is, and also how he was stealing Wi-Fi from the coffee shop next door. So that's where he's at in life. You know, he's controlling his narrative by cucking everyone's internet.
He's out there grinding, I guess you could say. But Cesaro had a pretty solid tenure in WWE. I don't know exactly the amount of years that he spent there. It had to be nearly a decade. But this is a guy that a lot of people always brought up as being one of the most underutilized talents in the company, which obviously I think we can all definitely agree with. The only positive thing that I can get really out of the ending of his WWE run is that his last match at WrestleMania was a win over Seth Rollins. Yeah. And I think that's a good way to kind of end things, because Seth Rollins is no scrub. You know, like that's a big deal. So, yes, it's unfortunate because he's such a good talent that he's gone from the WWE. But, Tuck, it's not like he doesn't have other options that he can go venture off into.
This would be, this would be the time to do it with all the options that he has available to him. He is 40 years old. So
oh, wow. I did not know that.
He'll be 42 this year in December.
Holy crap. Erica, that surprises me. What about you?
I thought you were going to make like an age joke, and like, no, you're not far off. Let's see.
I should make an age joke after the comments that you made earlier today.
He debuted in WWE in 2012.
Okay, so nearly a decade indeed. No, pretty much a decade, yeah. SCW, the wrestling channel, commenting in. What's up, guys? Shame to see Cesaro go, but no doubt he will be a success wherever he goes next. Absolutely. AEW, Impact, New Japan all provide some great dream match possibilities. That's the good thing about wrestling nowadays, is that you have a lot of options once you leave. And Ryan Vogus, the MVM himself, chiming in, Tuck, looking fire with that Kane's holiday sweater.
Do I look fire in just my regular Kane shirt?
Yeah, look at you guys.
Well, she was the inspiration. It's one of those things, right? When you see Kane, you got to put respect on it. You got to represent. When the Kane gang is out, the Kane gang is out in full force. It's a thing that we do.
I knew how to make a K, I would.
Yeah, that's tough, ain't it? I couldn't do it.
And the rest of no one talked to me.
I don't have any Kane merch, so I can't join the Kane gang, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, we can send you a link.
Yeah, no, we do got time. I could join the gang soon. You never know. But yeah, any other thoughts though from Cesaro leaving WWE, guys?
Good luck. Best wishes. Yeah. Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot different than like us reporting somebody got let go. Like they just couldn't come to a deal. It is what it is, and both sides move on. Your hair was in the way. You look great, Erica. Great background too. Wow. Very nice comment from the MVM.
High praise from Mr. Vogue.
I have a Brock up here for you, Bogus. Okay.
She's got a lot going on back there. You got to peep the background of Erica Marie.
I threw this together. People wanted a background. You got this. You know.
You got to give the people what they want.
I came.
You know.
For sure.
So let's move on here. Let's go to Monday Night Raw here. Let's start off with Tommaso Champa. He's now been featured on Raw the past few weeks, and this week, actually, he got some in-ring action, which I was very surprised not just to see him get a match on Raw, guys, but the fact that he was tag teaming with Finn Balor was super entertaining.
Yeah, and those guys are both shredded AF. Right?
So many abs.
If you want to feel bad about what you look like, just look at them.
Jeez Louise. They were looking good. Now, Mike, who does it benefit more? Does it benefit Finn more for having a new guy in this tag with him? Does it benefit Tommaso Ciampa more because he's with a former champion? Who does it benefit more? But I like the pairing because it's a seamless. They have the NXT connection together. They can both go. I vote that it actually benefits Finn more.
I agree.
That's kind of where I was going because it puts him in a relevant spot with who and where Tommaso Ciampa is at in his career. Erica, thoughts?
Is anybody else concerned that maybe Finn doesn't resign or Finn leaves?
I'm not concerned, but it's definitely something that I've thought about. Yes.
I haven't until just now, so that's where my mind is at.
He's also an older guy, I think, too.
Yeah, he's in his 40s. I think he's 81, so maybe he's 41. I liked the pairing. I almost think that it benefits Tommaso more because
I thought you were going to say both. I thought you were going to be.
I could be both, but I think he came up, and you could have a Raw crowd that doesn't watch NXT, and you could just fall flat and just be like, whatever. Good point. Finn freshly back, and having him be on the side of Ciampa, I don't know. I think that was like a good shoe-in or a good way to get in.
I don't think it's going to be like a permanent tag team or anything either. I think that's just like kind of what you're saying. It's a good way to introduce him to the main roster, and it's kind of a way of easing him into things instead of just popping up randomly and changing his gimmick like they did to a Karrion Kross or something. Vogus commenting, Erica casually dropping Finn's birth year. Name someone with more knowledge. You can't. Yeah, you're like 81. All right, what's Ciampa's birth year? Go.
His birthday, May 8th, 1986. He's a day before me. Same
Ciampa?
year or different year? Ciampa, where he's a day apart.
Wow.
And Finn is July 25th. Look how red I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassing myself.
No, she's right. 25 July 1981.
Yeah. And when's Ciampa? May 8th. He's 86 or 84. Or he's 85. I think he is my year.
May 8th, 1985.
He's a day.
So Finn Balor's older than Ciampa. He looks younger.
Yeah.
Finn's got the fountain of youth or something going on there with a 12-pack and everything. I mean, like you said, abs for days. That could be their tag team name right there. But it is a cool way to introduce him to the main roster, and I like what they're doing so far with Ciampa. But speaking of Finn Balor, a match already announced for next week is that Balor will take on Damian Priest for the U.S. title, and that's coming after Damian Priest cut that promo asking for someone to step up. And we haven't seen Balor on TV in a few weeks, maybe even a month, but I think him being inserted into that title match with Priest is at least something we all can be excited about, right? Like, this feels fresh and brand new.
Has he ever been the U.S. champion, Finn?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Just
don't quote me on that, though.
Someone fact check. I would say no.
I've unlocked Erica Inner Nerd. This is fantastic. No, what do we think, though? Finn Balor versus Priest. This is something exciting, right?
And where is that happening? Just on
Raw next week, yeah. Same with the tag team match, I believe.
And they've already said that what's his face is like the longest in a bit, or no?
And you talk about Priest's reign with the U.S. title? Recently, in modern time, yeah, I would say he's got one of the longer reigns. I don't think it's the longest.
I don't know what's going on with him. Like, all right, so now it's like Damian versus Priest, and now I have eyeliner, and now I'm like, whatever. So it's like, are we doing something with that? Like, is that a thing?
I feel like it's always kind of
do something, or like it's just gonna be your thing and it doesn't go anywhere. And I don't know. So I don't know.
Yeah, Tuck,
if it was progressing, I'd be behind him, but just because it's not, and Finn just came back and whatever, then I'm hoping for Finn.
He was the first Universal Champion and the NXT Champion, nothing else.
Never Intercontinental?
Yeah, I thought he was IC champion.
Let me look.
I don't know.
Again.
Just some him being on SmackDown with the IC title is ringing a bell.
I'm the only one that loves when Tuck fact checks, and I picture him being like Iron Man, like he pulls.
Well, I see it in the eyes. You see him just like behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's just.
I don't see anything about the Intercontinental.
Okay,
title.
All right. Kyle and I both have the same fever dream, I guess.
I guess we're just crazy.
Or psychic.
Tuck, what we think? Balor, Priest. We liking it?
It has the potential to make that Raw one of those Raws you remember. You know what I mean? Where it was like, man, you remember when Finn Balor won the U.S. title off of Priest? They have flipped it. We saw Mysterio win it too, right? In person. So it's just interesting because it felt like Priest was starting to sputter, and then when he heats up, he gets a really good candidate in Finn Balor. So I feel like it would need to brew a little bit more in order for Finn to win. So I'm leaning towards Priest, but it's not a stretch to say it could be match of the night.
No, especially on Raw, because they don't usually spend a lot of time actually wrestling.
And you know what?
Show.
And he was a 2-time Intercontinental champion for those keeping score at home.
Good job, Erica. We did it.
Twice.
I think what if this becomes like not like a long rivalry, because I feel like WWE kind of like beats things to death, but what if it was like a 2 of 3 whatever, and maybe like Priest gets like the best of Balor, and then it takes the Demon King to beat.
I did see that comment.
His name. Really?
Yeah, I saw that could be potentially, something that maybe they go towards WrestleMania with. Like they have that match like you were saying, and then maybe Finn loses, and then he brings out the Demon for a match down the line, which obviously would probably be WrestleMania, because I don't think you can have many better opponents for Damian Priest than a Demon Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Finn just lost to Theory clean. I don't see him going over. That's Vogus's take on that.
Well, then open your eyes bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I like your idea though. I like him losing and then potentially getting the Demon at WrestleMania. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. But the last thing from Raw I wanted to talk about was the main event. Rollins and Owens went over. They defeated RK Bro, and they now are part of that tag team title match. So it seems like the inevitable is happening here, guys. The demise, the slow burn, I guess you could say, of RK Bro, because it feels like they haven't been winning many matches lately.
This was something that, like, I hate when you, like, have to tell yourself, like, enjoy it while it lasts. Like, you really love it, and so just enjoy it while it lasts. And then it just, like, like Wordle. Wordle was so fun. Now it's just getting to be shit. And I said, let's enjoy Wordle while we can. And I feel like RK Bro was in that Wordle stage, which I got today, 3 out of 6. Thank you. But, yeah, I'll be sad. And I hope it doesn't happen yet, but I don't know.
Tuck?
Who's going to get Randy Orton's favorite strain if they break up?
Oh, we are.
No?
Yeah, hopefully. Why is that? If WWE wants to make up for that Lily inventory they have, is it Lily? It's Lily, right?
Yeah.
A specific strain of riddle weed would be impressive. I think a lot of people would purchase that.
I'm very confused on what's going on in the comment section from Ryan Vogus. He's totally
very
flipped.
Nice to me.
Yeah, flipped.
Very nice.
Today. He said 3 out of 6 is genius level. Erica's my queen.
Well, just for Ian to show up and I get kicked to the curb. So
I think he's nervous. Erica has been critical in the past. Hasn't always wanted to just give Vogus the MVM. And I think he feels like he's on the hot seat. He's trying to earn it. So
I respect the play.
I think Orton and Riddle are going to split up. I don't know how soon. I can't wait for the match. It's going to be bonkers. That's all I got.
No, I think it's got to be WrestleMania. The way they're going, just this path. If the tag team title match is Monday, I obviously don't see them winning and getting those titles back. So maybe that's when one of the two kind of snaps, or they just venture off and do their own thing, and then they finally have that match at WrestleMania. I think that's what is all leading to. But I don't think you can't count out Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins too, because the past couple of months, I feel like those two's chemistry just keeps on growing, and they feel like a legitimate tag team now.
I like them together. Just two like dicky assholes.
Yeah, that's their new tag name, Dicky Assholes. You think you could sell T-shirts with that, Dicky Assholes?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I agree. Go Dicky Assholes.
We can sell that merch whenever we get our own merch store popping up. What do you think, Tuck?
I agree. I'm working on it as soon as we go off air.
Appreciate it. But hey, for now, if you want to go check out some merch, go on and show some love to the Overtime Sports Network @_OTSN, as Tuck is showing you right there on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to get some merchandise, go to the website, otsportsnetwork.wixsite.com/OTSN, and go ahead and get yourself some OTM merchandise. None of us are wearing any. You can get a hoodie, you can get a t-shirt. And
I am.
Vogus is waiting on that Ponderosa t-shirt. Did Erica see that or no?
No.
Erica, you missed our live stream as we watched along yesterday because you were a little occupado, but there's a new character Did you hear that?
Yes, I did hear that, but it wasn't that loud. Don't worry.
There's a new character debuting in All Elite Wrestling called Ponderosa.
Wait, what?
So Ponderosa Steakhouse used to be like a buffet type place around here. I don't know.
I think I've heard like Mayor talk about it, maybe.
Oh, maybe it's a Midwest thing.
And then he calls it Ponderosa because was it gross?
At times.
Okay.
Definitely had the potential. Wouldn't be a shocking thing if someone thought Ponderosa was gross. For sure,
you could see some food that's maybe been there for a day or two under those
occasional hair. That. How do you look at it? Is it extra protein? I don't know.
It could be. There'd be no way of knowing. So yeah, go to otsportsnetwork.wixsite.com/OTSN. Get yourself some merchandise today. And then eventually maybe we'll have our own merchandise store. But now let's move over to NXT. Once again, another good showing, I think, overall from NXT 2.0, which kicked off with the champion, Braun Breaker, but was quickly interrupted by Dolph Ziggler. And Erica, Dolph claimed that after he defeated Champa, that he would be the next NXT champion, which got me thinking. And I think me and you kind of talked about this too. And I know you saw my tweet that I'm actually starting to believe that it's very much a possibility that Dolph Ziggler could be your next NXT champion because Braun Breaker is ready for that call up right away. And we can just transition him right into the main roster after that.
We did talk about that?
I thought we mentioned it.
Listen, what I tell you.
You've had a week.
Yeah, we talked about the two of them mixing it up.
First dates. Yeah. I was actually thinking too, watching that I could see Dolph just kind of like making himself at home in NXT
permanently.
So I guess for like the first year, more so than AJ Styles did.
Fair.
So I guess to what you just said, yeah, I could say that could be it. I don't know about Braun going to the main roster just yet. Do you? Yeah.
I don't think so. I feel like we've called for the Rocket for so many people and not got it. I'm kind of like, not him either. Well, they'll wait. But I want it. I'm ready. I'm ready for him to go. I was wondering as I was running today and watching NXT, I was wondering if they could use NXT in Orlando as like giving guys a break, right? Go to NXT, stay in Orlando for a month and show up to NXT on Tuesdays. So like, it's like a rest time, an off period. Yeah. Dolph would be a guy that benefited from it. Sure. AJ was on TV too. It's like send him down to. I think that would be cool. Yeah, because there's no off season in wrestling. That's the hard part. They should normalize or regulate like so and so's on a 30-month mandatory rest. 30
or
weeks.
Like in AEW when it seems like. People have just been going for months after months after month. And then it's like, okay, now they're taking like a little, they're off your TV. And like, maybe just cause we're like grown enough that we're not like, where the hell's Miro been? Like, we're like, this guy freaking.
No, I'm asking where the hell Miro's been.
Okay. But like maybe a month ago you weren't, you know what I mean? Like
he's been hibernating for like 6 months. Let's get Miro back on TV.
Banging Lana on a boat. Good for him. But like,
no complaints. Yeah.
I agree with that, Chuck. I could see that. And I could maybe see both. I don't know. But then at the same time, like, I feel like when I'm watching Braun in the ring, I'm just like, I want to just like plow through everybody. So I'm torn.
Well, another reason I kind of think Dolph is that guy is that outside of, those potential guys that could come from Raw or SmackDown to NXT, who in NXT right now is big enough to take it from a Braun Breaker? I don't think they've built up anyone that is credible enough to take that title anytime soon from him.
No, but so maybe he like holds on to it for a bit.
Is that the case of you think he's just not ready, or is it just too soon, in your opinion, to call a guy like him up?
It's like a Britt Baker who's going to take it from him. There's just nobody yet. So
and
well.
I also kind of lean towards like leave him down there another 6 months at least. They're building the next wave of NXT stars that really worked for him the first time with the black and gold brand. So let him get down there while others elevate close to his level, and then you have a whole new wave. I think I'm hoping that's kind of what they're going to start looking towards. You know, like the 4 horsewomen from NXT and a lot of those names that were originally in NXT before it got weird and the Wednesday Night Wars, you know. So
if there was somebody in NXT that could potentially take that from Braun that's not on the main roster, I'd probably say Carmelo Hayes. I don't know if Carmelo would still be the North American champion at that time, because it gets to that point too. Who's going to take that from him? Because he's been, you know, booked so well on NXT over the past couple months. The MVM champion, KO debuted on the main roster while still being champ and was booked strong against Cena. Run that back. Ooh, I love that with Braun Breaker. But then again, who's the Cena in this instance then?
Veer, because you haven't seen him.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker versus Veer.
That's a good one, Doug, because you haven't seen him.
If that happens, we know somebody from the WWE is listening to this show.
They're listening.
Braun Breaker versus Veer. But no, regardless, I thought it was a good way to start off NXT. A few more things that I wanted to touch on from this show before we get to AEW. And a big thing that, you know, caused a reaction on social media was the debut of Nikita Lyons. She made her... Yeah, go.
No, go ahead.
No, you seem like you have something to say right away. Go.
Maybe I should just stifle the bonage. Listen, all for it. I get it. I get it. But these people, excited for her. Are these the same people like last week and the week before and the week before that were shitting on her for when she was like rapping? And now all of a sudden she could do the splits and you guys are like, damn.
Okay.
Come on.
You guys is pretty.
She's not talking about us. I don't think.
Them guys then.
Because we weren't going crazy on Twitter.
Yeah.
I just said she had a good day.
There
no, Vogus and Ian, the two of them were just like, what do they say? Horny on Main? That was them.
She has such great in-ring psychology.
I'm like, leave this girl alone. She's rapping, whatever. Like, all right, it's not my thing, but like, let her live. And now
she will not be left alone.
Split, and that's it. You know what though? Good for her. More power to her. Men are just so.
It's something that's getting her over. Obviously, it's very easy with the wrestling fans to get very horny over someone because you know.
Well, that's that's all NXT is now. It's horny 0.0. Like Tinder, this toxic attraction, that Nikita line. It's just like
horny 0.0. He said
that's what it is.
But what do the women have? What do the women and the gay men have?
The women have Cameron Grimes to look at weekly.
Hey, before you know it, there probably will be a gay storyline in NXT. I would not be surprised.
Oh, what do we get? Duke Hudson? Ooh.
Duke Hudson's no longer a poker player now, guys. So we at least got past that shit.
We moved on.
And you guys, we don't have a character that wants to educate us every week like Andre Chase.
Did somebody say Andre Chase?
You're right. Love me a smart man. The only thing I would hate more is if it was if Kyle did the face, whatever it's called, on Andre Chase's body of him saying it, the way he does the Cena and the Rock one.
Hey,
why did I say that?
Props to whoever drew the Chase U logo on the whiteboard during his vignette because it was rock solid.
That dude's so entertaining. I love me some Andre Chase. There's some good ones and there's some bad ones in NXT. You just gotta push the bad ones to the side. But in all seriousness, I did like Nikita's debut. I thought she had a fantastic showing, and I think she could be a force in that women's division because I mean you have the Raquel Gonzalez, the Cora Jade, but I think she provides something in NXT that they really didn't have. And I put all the horniness aside.
Pin?
No, she actually was a strong competitor in the ring. Like she kind of has that UFC kind of style to her, which nobody in NXT really wrestles like that.
I thought they gave her opponent too much, by the way.
Yeah, could be.
Thoughts?
Erica?
I don't know what you mean.
Like too much offense, I think you're talking about, right?
Oh.
I didn't think it was fast enough.
Yeah.
I feel like are they sort of in the same vein that I feel like AEW does? I feel like they've kind of like gotten away from true squash matches, that they give the opponent like a little bit and then I don't know, which I guess I kind of like. I also don't remember. Maybe it was the splits that just
you got distracted.
My brain. That's it.
You're the only one that's really talked about it, by the way.
Yeah.
And I can't. And have I stopped talking about it? No. I just
the Nikita Lyons effect, ladies and gentlemen, on Horny 2.0.
I thought I was victim to the Grayson Waller effect. It was, in fact, Nikita Lyons.
The lion.
I tried to have your back, Nikita. I really did, but I
think you did.
Ooh, lion tamer submission.
Ooh, now
Lions tamer.
Now we got something going here. Yeah. So the main event of Horny 2.0 was Tommaso Champa and Ziggler, where the winner would become the number one contender. And unsurprisingly, guys, this was obviously the match of the night. Ziggler and Champa were great together. It's nice to see Ziggler once again, what he can do. I mean, we talk about it all the time, how great of a seller he is, an in-ring competitor. But it's fresh opponents in NXT. It's a new atmosphere. And overall, it just feels like Dolph Ziggler is so much better here in NXT than he was the past couple of years on the main roster.
It's all location. It's how you're booked, right? He goes to NXT and he's a dude. He's in WWE and he's a guy, and
good point.
I'm sure you understand the difference, but it was a good match. I was horny for that one, but for different reasons. You know what I mean? And then I
get a wrestle boner.
Watch it. Wrestle boner.
Wiffle boner.
Go.
Oh,
yes.
You guys just up together. That was cute.
No.
Ladies first.
Because I don't even know what I'm going to say.
So we're just going to go back and forth here. The Kang Gang doesn't know what to say about the main event with Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa. Erica, I know you got thoughts on this.
It was a good match. I'd like to hear Erica's thoughts.
I don't really have money. I knew it would, as the kids say, slap. I focus. All right. Focus is MVM. All right. Let's just get it out of the way.
Okay. You too.
To like jump before this match, I know things that happened in my house. And I really liked the match before this, which was Casey and Kaden versus Ivy Nile. And I don't know who that other girl was.
I don't either.
Like I loved
Lash Legend.
No, I don't think she was a part of that tag. You're thinking of another tag.
I'll see it.
And,
it's all right. She was on the show. You get half of it.
Yeah. No, I really liked that match, and I think like Casey and Kaden normally just don't do.
You like the Raid?
A ton for me. But I think I just liked those four together, and like also like I said, maybe it was my extracurriculars. But Tommaso and Dolph, I knew that would bang, and it did.
So you could probably add on to this too, Erica, because this is something we have discussed. Robert Roode was the main reason that Dolph Ziggler won this match, which is a nice touch, knowing the history with Bobby Roode in NXT. And we go back to the point once again, more and more superstars from Raw and SmackDown being brought into NXT. I don't know if this is a full-time thing, but it was a feel-good moment to see Robert Roode in that main event.
And it was a good idea. And honestly, as silly as it sounds, when when he was the cameraman and he attacked Ciampa for a split second, I loved it right off the bat. But then I was like, oh, who is this? And I'm like, could it be Robert Roode? Like, I really wasn't sure because I would have taken it as anybody. When I saw it was him, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
He should have just done the thing where he builds up the suspense and then just hits the glorious. And oh, that would have been great. Tuck was around. You were around for the Robert Roode days, Bobby Roode days in NXT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those were the days.
But see, then do you think now that okay, so he sticks around and say I don't know, do you think they tag in NXT?
or maybe he sticks around. We go off of what I was saying, where Dolph takes that from Breakker at Stand and Deliver, and then that causes some tension with Dolph and Bobby Roode, and then that becomes your new NXT Championship feud.
Interesting.
I'm just spitball.
Do you think that next week, because Roode cost Champa that match, that maybe not next week, but it's Robert Roode and Dolph versus Champa and Finn?
Oh, that is next week. Oh, you're thinking of Robert Roode and Dolph, I think, are teaming up to face Champa and Breakker next week on NXT.
Oh, okay then.
I think that is a match that's happening. So that will be awesome. But overall, another solid show from NXT 2.0. Like I said, I'm still a fan. I'm still around. We're talking about it. So they're obviously not shitting the bed, right? Like, we're here.
My Tuesday. Listen, it doesn't take much for me to lose interest. Really. So I'm like back on my bullshit with NXT.
Hell yeah. NXT Marini is back. Tell a friend.
I have made it a point the last 2-3 weeks to watch it. Maybe not live, but I watched it today. But now I'm starting to care again. So
if you're taking time out of your schedule to watch the program, it doesn't matter if it's live or not.
I also asked you, Kyle, were they in Tennessee? Why did I think that?
Because you wanted to do the pickup line, probably.
No, but I thought that they said that.
Who was in Tennessee?
Right? I don't know. Remember I texted you when it goes to Tennessee?
Oh, that's what you were getting at. I thought you were just trying to make the "Are you from Tennessee?" joke with me in the DM.
No,
I thought that's how you're picking up people in your DMs. I don't know.
Are you from NXT? You're the only 10 I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were definitely still in Orlando, which I think that show, the Stand and Deliver, will be the first show outside of the CWC or Performance Center. And
that weekend is just going to be so good.
Did you see what they're doing? That's happening in Dallas, but WrestleMania is in Arlington, and it's happening at like 11 a.m. I think. So those people are going to have to travel.
Oh.
And there's going to be traffic because it's WrestleMania weekend all the way out to Arlington.
People that have tickets for both?
Yeah.
We've got a game on April 2nd, too. Starts at 11. One game.
My girlfriend's birthday is on March 31st.
Rip.
Bad.
Bad.
I'm going to be like, what are the odds that you want to celebrate your birthday at a WrestleMania party?
That's everybody's dream. That's not a wrestling fan.
Come on.
I would love that if my birthday ended up on a WrestleMania weekend.
Derek Perry, his birthday has been on WrestleMania. I think he said like 3 times. That's like, imagine being like a little kid and like your birthday falls on like WrestleMania.
Well, that's what
awesome.
I was going to bring up too. My brother's birthday is always around WrestleMania.
Really?
He's had 2, I think, WrestleManias.
That's awesome.
Either on his birthday or the day after his birthday. So he gets excited about that, and he gets excited about his birthday, of course, because he's got to tell everybody that it's his birthday. But he's already moved on to a different conversation. Ryan's new thing is now, you coming for the 4th of July? He's already on that. He wants to see everyone at the 4th of July, so everybody's invited. 4th of July.
I'm not gonna make it the 4th of August. I might be able to make an appearance if he's down for 4th of August parties.
I'm sure he's down. There is times I have shown Ryan our show on YouTube after it airs. He's a big fan of us.
He is, and I'm a big fan of his.
Likewise, yeah.
So let's move on here to our final discussion of the evening. AEW.
My notes.
Okay, let her get her notes because she was in attendance. But while she was there, myself, Tucky, and the AEW champion of OTM, Ian, were live reacting to Dynamite this week on my Twitch channel.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I'll be live for most Dynamites until Wiffle Ball season. So go ahead, give my channel a follow at twitch.tv/2sweetkyle. Tuck, you have an open invite. If you ever want to watch AEW live with me, come join me.
Oh, yeah?
Marini, same goes to you.
Is what?
If you ever want to do a live reactions with me, Ryan Vogus hung out with us the whole time. He wasn't even watching the show. Okay, what is going on? Somebody hacked Ryan Vogus's Facebook account.
Honest to God.
This is off-putting.
I'm here for it.
All right, so let's start off here with what the show kicked off with. That tag team battle royal to determine one of the competitors that will be facing Jurassic Express at Revolution. So it came down to Matt Jackson at the end, Kyle O'Reilly, and John Silver. And then Silver was eliminated by those two. And then Kyle O'Reilly eliminated Jackson to earn a spot. And Eric, I mentioned this to Tuck on the live stream that we were doing, that these tag battle royals that AEW does, they can be kind of awkward at times, and they usually aren't the most exciting thing. But when you were there in attendance, did it come off well with the crowd? Was it well received?
I was going to ask, did you guys hear like the 3 or 4 Johnny Hungy chants? Because they were aplenty and they were loud. And at first I was like, what the heck are they saying? And then like I caught on.
You don't watch the vlogs, do you?
Johnny Hungy. I do. When Bobby tells me if they're funny, I watch. I watched last week's or this week's, whatever. I mean, what was the question?
I mean, you don't have to answer the question.
How was it come up?
Yeah, no, I mean, we were all here for it, probably, especially it being the opening match. But it was, especially at the end or right before the end when there was like one left of everybody, when it was like Santana, Kyle O'Reilly, Matt Jackson, and
we thought Santana was going to be the last man standing, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah. I had this kid behind me that was probably like 9 years old. The hugest mark I've ever heard in my life. Like he spoke like he was 20. And he's like, yeah, but don't you remember when Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby, like he knew just everything. And he's talking to his dad and his dad's buddy. And they're responding to him like he's some like 40-year-old dude like he is. And I was like, this kid is great.
He's a wrestling encyclopedia.
Honestly, I loved him.
It's kind of like you with birthdays.
Yeah. Except yours.
You should have clapped back and asked him for a birthday and then gave him a middle finger.
I should have, and I would have remembered.
Yeah.
June 18th.
Oh, she does remember my birthday. God,
tell me yours. I'll remember it.
November 15th.
Okay.
November 15th. I didn't even know Doug's birthday, so it pops up on Facebook. That's how I find out when you guys' birthday.
And that's okay, by the way.
Right.
Like that's an okay way to
numbers
remember.
thrown at us all day, every day.
It's a legit way.
We're not all
to
an accountant.
People's birthdays. Like, stop. I'm not an asshole because I now remembered it's your birthday because of Facebook. Like,
No.
Erica, when's your birthday?
May 9th.
May 9th. Okay, yeah, I knew it was close to mine. I did know that. Okay, now I'll remember it. So Red Dragon wins. They're in that tag team match. I think that's cool just because Kyle and Bobby need something to like dive into. I don't think they're going to win the tag team titles, but I brought this up too with Tuck and E and Erica. I was like, Jurassic Express, ever since winning those titles, it's like
we said the same thing.
What are we doing? You know?
I was happy that Young Boy's music hit because I got to dance. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. They were featured more. They were more prominent when they were in the hunt for the belts. Now they got them, and what?
It's always easy to tell the story on the chase. It's when you have the belt. No, I didn't say Andre Chase. Okay. Is that what you're going to go to? Anybody but Jurassic Express needs those belts. Wow, Quinn. I mean, I don't know if that's him saying he doesn't like Jurassic Express. Maybe he's just saying
exactly what he's saying. He's saying the push has been poop.
Yeah.
I like them, but as champions, it's hard to buy into.
I have a question. What happened? Because I didn't see it happen, and then I just noticed that one of the chairs was tipped over. Did they get attacked? Like when somebody maybe got eliminated, did they get attacked?
I don't.
They just walked off.
Okay, because one rolling chair was up and the other was like tipped. So I thought like.
No, I think one of them like pimped it away.
Oh
yeah, I remember Tuck and I made a comment about that. They're like Jurassic Express, like, all right, we're out of here. We'll see it. They wanted nothing to do with it. They weren't involved in that. Another comment rolling in, I believe, from Quinn. Yep. I don't like Christian. I miss Marco Stunt. Yeah.
Do they still have him in the opening?
Who, Marco?
Yeah.
No, he's not all elite anymore. I think he made a statement.
No, but I mean, like in the
Titantron
package.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
off of that.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I hope he's not saying he just doesn't like Christian in general, because I think Christian Cage is awesome. It's just maybe with them.
And in this, because like we said last week, what has he really been doing
wrestle,
in AEW?
Should have went to WWE or should have stayed with WWE. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at there. So after that, MJF cut that emotional promo. It came off as, a babyface, some are saying, but it's obviously MJF just playing mind games. But I just want to say, how good is MJF? I know we've praised him before, but the range on his character, Like, we know he's a dick. We know he's a heel. But he could tap into so many different directions with this. It makes this feud just 10 times more entertaining.
And you never know how to take it, because it's him. You know, like you're just waiting for like the other shoe to drop because it's him. So you're like, oh, okay, when's he gonna cut the shit? And then, did you know that was true? Bobby sent in our little group that there was somebody pulled up one of his old Facebook posts and it was him and it was a picture of Punk and Danielson. And he posted that as his status with a big thing about why he's leaving football and, don't feel bad for me that I'm home now. And I, gave everything up. It's like, you should be happy for me that I'm going to dive both feet in onto my dream of becoming a professional wrestler. And I thought that was just so cool.
I didn't know that. His mom's even tweeting about how she feels he's redeemed. You know what I mean?
And when he was talking shit about himself last night, I was like, even your parents hate you.
Yeah.
Oh, that did not sound good.
Okay.
Is that Austin? Austin!
It's real. What?
No, but Tuck, I think we brought this up many episodes ago that AEW really leans into the realism when it comes to their feuds. And this is the perfect feud to do that with Punk and MJF.
Oh, yeah. Because they feel the realist, right? They are people and they are cartoon versions of people. MJF he's just an asshole. We all know an asshole. We all know someone that's a dickhead. But CM Punk feels like a regular-ish guy, right? He's never touted his physicality.
He's a straight edge guy,
Yeah, so they're people you can relate to. Yeah, I think the feud just prints money.
That crowd eat up that promo too.
They did, and I couldn't stop laughing when the first time, and he was like, they call me Little Jew Boy, and he's like, any Jews in the house or whatever he said, and I was like, what a thing to say. And may I just tell you, I work with a 75-year-old woman, and she watches wrestling with her husband, and she knew I was going, so she watched it last night, and she goes, so she's reciting it for me as if I wasn't there. She's telling me everything that she saw on the show. And she goes, yeah. And then I saw Maxwell give his speech. Yeah. And he kept saying, Little Jew Boy. And I was like, yep, he did. He did keep saying Little Jew Boy. And it just got to the point that I was popping every time he said it. But yeah, no, we like that.
That's good. It's good to know that she was enjoying it too. I like how she calls it a speech too. Not a promo. Maxwell's speech right there. Hey, overall, though, good segment there on Dynamite. But after that, the House of Black revealed a new member after losing to Penta, which, by the way, Penta's new Dark Penta thing is pretty fucking cool.
Scary.
Tuck, I said it gave me Tuck vibes right when I saw it, and he agreed on our live stream.
Spooky Boy, yeah. Which also, in turn, gives Vogus vibes too. He likes the Spooky Boys.
Yeah,
I like Spooky Boys. I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
But obviously, Buddy Matthews would appear in this segment after the lights went out, and he attacked Penta and Pac. So now he's a part of the House of Black, it seems. And we have another new signing in AEW. So Buddy Matthews is officially All Elite. I'm not going to bring up the fact that it's a crowded roster and whatnot, because I actually think with Buddy Matthews being inserted right away into a faction, that this is going to work out.
Did the crowd translate onto the television? Because it went
big pop,
huge and steady, and I was thinking to myself, I'm going, what's his name? Buddy Matthews?
Yeah,
I'm gonna probably call him Murphy. I was like, eat this up, dude, because I can't promise that you're going to get a reaction like this. And I was happy for him, but I feel like we all went too crazy.
No, it came out great on TV. We popped on the live stream, and I talked about it with Tuck too. I was like, it's even cooler because we obviously know that Buddy Murphy had a history with Aleister Black in WWE.
Yeah.
And now here they are, Tuck. They're working together in AEW.
For now.
Dun, dun.
To be continued, I guess we could say. So that was obviously a cool moment. This was probably one of Erica's favorite things that have happened in 2022. Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston going at it on the microphone. It was a very good promo from what I heard. It was tough to hear when we were doing the live stream. But Erica, this is your man, Eddie Kingston. We see him behind you. How are you feeling this segment here between him and Jericho?
Before you answer that, is Jericho? Did he look that jacked when you were there? He looked.
I was gonna say he looked slim or
he looked
less
nice.
bloated. Our whole car ride up there, we were talking about like, yeah, he got like bloated, like whatever. But then I saw him, I was like, all right.
No, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, he did
Translated.
something.
He was
but then somebody said that once he's going to be going on tour with Fozzy, I think like after April or something, and then
he'll put on the Jack Daniels weight.
They're coming to Reno in May.
Ooh, Connecticut.
Am I going to go to Reno to sing Judas? That's all I got.
No, you could sing it at AEW. But Erica, what do we think about this segment with your boy?
I mean, obviously, I loved it personally, and I love when the Eddie chants start because then it's just not just me. I like it because I feel like it's a good. To me, the whole feud. I think I think it's an AEW thing, and I think it's an Eddie Kingston thing that you could just take nothing or take a speck of something and turn it into something, like him with Punk. I think this feud kind of came out of nowhere, but like in hearing the two of them talk last night, especially Jericho, I feel like Jericho can come off a little bit like holier than thou because he's been around the world and he's got so many accolades. And then you got him telling Eddie Kingston, like, oh, do you know what achievophobia is? Like, no, motherfucker, but I could probably take a good guess at it. You know what I mean? And I just feel like that kind of like summed it all up. And I don't know. I hope Eddie devours him.
Tuck, I think that goes off the realism thing once again. Like Jericho was bringing up points that Eddie Kingston can never get to the top. He's always there, but he just never can win the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made this segment great, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Jericho's that's a bad move. You don't want to fire him up, right? And that's what pulls you in and grabs you in. Okay.
This is a facade. This is not Ryan Vogus. Somebody hacked his account. He said that Eddie Kingston is really growing. Oh, that would make sense. It would make sense. Wild times in the chat today. It's really just from the MVM himself with a sprinkle of other people.
Continuing to hold it down. But yeah, it's gonna be a good match, and it'll be a good match, not for the high spots and the super technical wrestling. It's because they're going to make it real. It's going to be a real match. So I'm excited.
They're going to lay it in for sure. It feels like one of those fights. Maybe we'll get the Painmaker. Is that what Jericho had going on? Yeah. Maybe he'll bring that back for this match. You never know. That'd be very cool to see that at Revolution. Going back to the MVM stuff, if you're listening to us at a later date, if you watch us live every single week and you're active in the comments, or you have very much, what am I getting at? Quality. The quality is good in the comments. We will award you an MVM sticker, which Tuck might be able to show you right now. And you can flaunt that everywhere. Erica is the only co-host to have the MVM sticker.
2, actually.
Well, I guess Tuck has it too.
Marini 2 belts over there, yeah.
I got one on my laptop right here, and I am saving another one for, I don't know.
What Marini doesn't have is the OTM pay-per-view champion, and she doesn't have the AEW championship. Just going to throw that out there. Just rubbing it in a little bit. So the main event of Dynamite here.
Okay.
Let's go to the main event that Erica forgot was even happening on Dynamite because it all blended in with AEW Rampage.
Doing good so far.
Danielson defeated Daniel Garcia in a very technical, very smooth professional wrestling match, which we can talk about what happened after when Moxley came out to confront Danielson in a little bit. But from a technical standpoint, and this is the internet's wet dream right here, Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia, and it delivered.
Also mine. I was like screaming to my friends. I'm like, that was awesome. And they're like, what? I'm like, did you see him like take him down by his knee? And then he just started like pounding on him. They're like, yeah, no, that was cool. I was like, I had stars in my eyes, hearts in my eyes. I was like super enamored. I effing love this match a lot.
Big technical mark, Marini.
I am. I'm a technical mark, and then I like strikers, and then I like my spooky boys. I guess I have 3 types.
You got a type.
Yeah.
Everybody has their type.
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed it too, because when you watch a lot of AEW, you're conditioned to like look for high spots and they're kind of car crashy type matches. And the both of those guys they have range. They can do
Yeah.
a technical match like that. So it's like a change of direction for what you're used to seeing in AEW too.
Good point. Quinn said, I hope you all flexed when he flexed on Garcia. We did not. Quinn, you were watching us live. You should know. Quinn was with us yesterday.
He'll join us one of these times.
He will. Yeah. Open invite for anybody that wants to join the live reaction.
Put some respect on Quinn's name.
Hey, Quinn.
Semi-open invite.
Semi-open invite.
No creeps, please.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think we have too many creeps that watch this show. I think we have a normal audience, I would say.
You have one that's on it.
She's a weirdo.
Yes.
So after the match, Moxley would come out to confront Danielson and set up that match between the two at Revolution, right by Marini. So, Tuck, I know I brought this up also on the stream last night, but I want you to reiterate it here. What you think is going to eventually happen with Danielson and Moxley? Because what you said, I think, could be the direction they're going.
Well, I think ultimately they end up together in a faction, but I don't think it happens until they beat each other's ass. So I think they've got to square off and throw it down, and then once that happens, like a mutual respect, which puts them both over as like baby faces. I think that's a good route.
Yeah,
like the fan wins, every step. Yeah.
The fact that that's one of just the single matches, though, without a title on the line at Revolution, holy shit, this card is looking very stacked.
And that's next week, isn't it? It's next Sunday.
Next Sunday, yeah. Not this upcoming Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Speaking of that, Double or Nothing tickets go on sale March 4th, and they are running it at the T-Mobile Arena where the Golden Knights play. So bigger than what they've ran.
I've seen that arena in person. That's a nice place. Obviously, it's brand new since the Golden Knights are brand new. Quinn asked, what do you name the faction? See, I'm not good at this stuff on the spot. I can't just name. I'm not like Tuck who can name NXT Horny.0.
I used to be good at this stuff.
It's all right. We all don't have it. Quinn, what would you name the faction between Moxley and Bryan Danielson? But yeah, overall from AEW, another solid show. A lot of good wrestling this week in general. I even thought Raw was a pretty solid show. Yeah. We'll see what SmackDown has to offer. I saw that Madcap Moss has another match with Drew McIntyre. One, we don't need to see that again. Two, can we give the guy a break after hitting his head on the fucking mat?
Yeah.
Send him out with like a neck brace, something.
Quinn, we do.
I really do.
We do want you to answer that. Quinn's always got those comments, but before Quinn reveals his faction name for Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, it is once again that time of the show where we are going to award the most valuable mark of OTM. And this one was a little bit more interesting compared to the last few episodes, but still, I don't think it was much of a contest. So we have and still MVM of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, Ryan Vogus. And Erica,
damn it, Quinn, you came in too late.
He did, but Erica and Vogus had a good relationship this episode. So yeah, I think she supports this decision, right?
I mean, I just said, damn it, Quinn, you came in too late. So what do you think?
But like we said last episode, I think we all just kind of want new challengers.
It stings a little less this week. So congratulations, Bogus.
Wow. We still haven't got the grand reveal of the faction name, Tuck, and I'm kind of waiting.
You know what, Quinn? I hope you don't give it to him.
Oh, wait, hold on. There's a comment. Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's from the MVM. I'll win her over one of these days.
Good luck.
That's what Vogus has to say. We're still waiting Quinn's name. But yeah, overall, solid week of wrestling, guys. Any final remarks, Marini?
You don't want me to talk about last night, so.
What else happened? Oh, you're talking about Rampage. Was it at least a good Rampage?
You know what I realized is that they start, because I was thinking, I'm like, how are they, because by the end of it, we were like obviously tired. We sat through dark, whatever. They start with the main event. I'm interested. It has to be, because it started with, do we know the main
Andrade?
event?
I'm assuming Andrade's the main
event.
Okay,
Andrade and Sammy. Yes. They started with that.
They didn't do that when I was there. They went in actual order.
And I'm thinking they both had entrance. Yeah, they both definitely had entrances. And then Justin Roberts announced that Rampage was starting, and that you had the opening whatevers, and then like the match just started. So it wasn't like their entrance. It just was.
Did you get to see Mark Henry? I think there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event.
We did. And you know what I liked too? Somebody wasn't on Dynamite and somebody wasn't on Rampage. And Tony Khan brought that somebody out at the end and had him putz around in the ring. And then
the three names for Moxley and Danielson from Quinny Gerard. Yes, Shield, The Future, and Come Tuesday.
Can we get a second MVM just for that?
No.
Why? The amount of times that I played Come Tuesday on the Twitch
stream. Oh my God. Obsessed. That's what I said. I go, what did I miss? Here it comes. I go, what did I miss? He's like, nothing. It's just Come Tuesday.
How is it so available on your phone? Just
it's the first meme that pops up on my phone. Come Tuesday. We had a Come Tuesday. We had a Wednesday. Marini was there at Dynamite. It was a fucking great week in professional wrestling, Tuck. So why don't you send us home?
Yeah, we've got nothing big coming up this weekend, but we'll see what coming. Are we shooting Sunday?
No, off week. I mean, you guys can shoot. I will not be shooting. I'll be doing another podcast on Sunday.
Oh,
March to Madness. College basketball's heating up. We're close to March, so show some love at March2_Madness if you like college basketball.
As always, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Pod on the Mark. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling
Podcast.
I said